So wanted to give you guys a glimpse into how I progress my way through weight, mostly through weight increases and rep increases on my lifts. So I started this mesocycle out down really low on my volume, and I'm slowly increasing the volume week to week until I find a really good set point for where I'm at, where I feel like I'm recovering just in time to be ready for the next workout. I don't want to come into the next workout still sore or still feeling really tired. I want to feel like I'm up and ready to go, but I don't want to feel like I'm fully recovered and ready to go a day or two early. So just trying to find that max recoverable volume where I'm getting a good adaptation, but I can still continue to gain. I follow almost exclusively what's called a double progression model. Progression model is essentially you pick a weight range for the exercise that you're going to be doing. So say I'm going to do 3 sets of incline dumbbell press with 50 pounds in the 6 to 10 rep range. Say the first week I go 10, 8, 6 are my 3 sets. So I'll stay at that weight the next time. First set, I'll hit the 10 again, so I'll stay within my range. Probably the reps in reserve will go up. So hopefully the second week it would feel a little bit better, but I'll stay at that 10. So then maybe the next week I go 10, 9, 7, stay at it again, and you just stay in that rep range. You stay in that you stay at that weight until you can get all 3 sets at the highest end of the range. So 10, 10, 10. Then you can increase the weight, stay in the same rep range, and continue up again. So I will usually, once I've maxed out on a rep range, I will usually, for most of my movements, I'll stay at that for at least an extra week, if not 2. So say I'm doing an incline dumbbell press, 50 pounds in the 6 to 10 rep range. When I can do, say I hit my 10, I'll hit that again the next week, 10. And then most likely I'll stay and hit another week at 10, 10, and then up the weight to 55 pounds, stay in the same rep range and go. The reason, especially with dumbbells, the reason I stay there is that the jumps, once you've gotten stronger and once you're starting to max out your strength on any given movement, once you get to that point, dumbbells, a 5-pound jump in each arm is a big jump. So now, if I can hit 10 and then I jump all the way to those 55s, I'm probably not going to hit all 3 of my sets in the range that I want to. That's a pretty big jump. So giving myself a couple weeks in that same rep range lets me get really good, really strong, really proficient at that weight, so that I feel like I'm much more prepared when I do finally make the jump and go into it. And just because I'm staying at maybe 2 or even 3 weeks at that same weight for the same amount of reps, I should be getting better at it every single week. The reps in reserve should be going up. I should feel stronger at within each one of my reps and each one of my sets through that. I'll also just really focus on form. I'll just milk everything I can out of that movement while I'm going through it. So as I go through week to week, I might be able to take the eccentrics even slower. I might be able to pause even longer in the bottom, but I won't push the rep range up. I won't start pushing into sets of 11 or sets of 12. I'll just stay within the high end of that rep range and then I'll go down. I might not always do that with a heavy compound movement, where I can go up in very small increments. So if it's a back squat and I've maxed out at the top end of that range, and I'm just going to add 5 pounds total to the back squat, I'm probably fine to do that because I'm probably the next week going to stay within that rep range. 5-pound jump after spending several weeks working my way through 3 or 4 sets within that rep range, is probably not going to be extremely noticeable. A little bit, probably going to drop down, but probably not a big deal. But for smaller muscle groups and especially for dumbbells where it's going to be kind of a bigger jump, I will always stay there. Sometimes I'll wave load. I'll do another thing. I'll do a whole thing on how to work your way through all of this if you're curious. But wave loading, sometimes if I'm really focused on strength, if I really, really want to get stronger at a certain movement, say I really want to push my bench up, then I might work through some wave loaded patterns. Wave loading is simply where you take your volume adjusts each and every week. So say you do 3 sets of 6 at 100 pounds. Next week you might go to 3 sets of 4, so you drop the reps, but I'll do it at like 110 pounds. And then maybe 3 sets of 3, but at 115 pounds. So your overall volume is going down. You're doing less reps as you move the weight up. And you just get better and better at handling a heavier load quicker. You'll get a lot more neurological adaptation to that because your body will just get more used to handling that heavier weight and more efficient at firing through that. So that can be a good way to work with your compound movements if your goal is really to get stronger. For the most point, now my goal is not really to get stronger. My goal is to be safe. My goal is to put on as much muscle as possible. And the strength then is kind of a byproduct of all of that. I track my strength through that double progression model most of the time. I should be getting stronger one way or another week to week. I should either be able to add an extra set, so I'm increasing the volume that way, or I should be able to add one extra rep for an exercise. So even if you're doing the squats and one week you went 8, 8, 6. The next week you go 8, 8, 7. That's one extra rep with that. That's completely fine. Or maybe the reps are just cleaner. Maybe I'm just going a little bit slower. I'm pausing a little bit longer in the bottom. But every single week, my goal is to be better than the week before. And as long as I'm doing that every single time, the strength is coming along with that. And so that's really my goal. I don't have any future aspirations right now of doing any more powerlifting competitions. I just don't care. I want to be healthy. I want to be active. I don't really want to push the injuries. And back through my competitive CrossFit days, back through competitive powerlifting days, I racked up a lot of injuries and now I have none. I feel great. I'm very mobile. I don't have any aches or pains anywhere other than just kind of normal stuff. I go through just normal soreness. I'm getting more muscular as I go. I feel great. So I'm very happy with what I'm doing and what my goals are and what I go through. Now, I don't know. In a year or 2 or 10, who knows? I might decide that I want to go back into something like that. But for right now, that's just where I am. So I am getting stronger. I do want to continue to get stronger. I'm nowhere near where I used to be because I'm not powerlifting anymore. And so I'm not pushing a lot of those movements. In fact, I'm far weaker than I've been in the past. My max bench press right now is probably 245, maybe 235. And I've had a 320 bench in the past. There's no way I'm there and probably no way I'll ever hit that again because I'm not going to go all the way through that and try to do it. But so that's how I do it. If you're getting older and you're just kind of coming back into this, the strength will come. Keep the eccentric slow. Take those pauses in the bottom. It's really good for tendon and ligament health, which is extremely important as you get older. You're going to minimize the chances of getting hurt when you're pausing in the bottom and you're getting a good stretch and then you're coming smoothly out of that position. You're going to minimize your chances for injury and you're maximizing what the science says for muscle gain.